we're back
We are,
because
yes.
we have um, this will be an addendum that
Addendum. I like that. Yeah.
or something like that. Want to cover
Yeah.
something that's
Yeah.
super important. So tell me, what's up?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll call it our affirming addendum here. Um,
Absolutely.
so we did our episode where we were introducing ourselves. And in retrospect, there was like a word that you used. And I was like, oh, David, let me tell you about this word. We don't really use that word anymore.
Yeah.
And you were just describing, experiences with the ARC, the national organization that works with disabled people. And you mentioned, they work with mental retardation, and I heard that and I was like,
Developmentally
oh,
disabled. Yeah.
yeah. So we talked after, and I said, uh, we don't use that R word. We're trying to eliminate it. It's kind of even thought of as a slur,
Right.
even though there are people in popular culture who are using it. We
Right.
shouldn't be. And we're trying to get rid of it because it's kind of has this negative connotation for those individuals. And we talked about how it was in the DSM, but then they removed it
Okay.
and replaced it with intellectual developmental disability.
Yeah.
And so you and I, of course, have these conversations all the time, and
Right.
it wasn't hard for me to talk to you about that. And you're like, oh my gosh, I was going back to my ARC days and I didn't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
And then I said, it's okay. I am like going, you just edit it out. And you're like, no, like, let's just hit record
Yeah, let's
again.
talk about it. Yeah, cuz I was just recounting um my days of, it was the Greater Ozarks. No, it was the Greene County Association for Retarded Children. That was the original group that my dad worked for. And then
Absolutely.
it was the Greater Ozarks Association for Retarded Children. Then it
Yeah.
became the national chapter, I guess, did change, what, 10 years ago, maybe? I can't remember. And it became maybe 20
Something
years
like,
close to
yeah.
it, Arc of the Ozarks. So that's, or Arc of, you know, of America kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I definitely. So now, let me ask this.
Yeah.
So is special needs a term that churches ought to look at?
Well, that's a good question. I think there's some debate about that. Some people
Okay.
don't like that, and some people are comfortable and fine with it. I think there are gray places where, yes, there are some people that feel like certain language around disability, around autism, around neurodivergence shouldn't be used. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
there are people in the same category who think that that language is fine. I think within the realm of disability culture, neurodivergent culture, autism culture, the R word is trying to be eliminated,
Yeah.
completely, just because
Yeah.
it is more considered as something people use as an insult.
Yeah,
It's
for
like it's
sure.
what they say to people to degrade them. It's what they say to make somebody the butt of the joke. And yet, hey, there's real people out here who have intellectual developmental disorder, and
Yeah.
so it's just trying to get rid of that word and not use it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember when it was changed in the DSM, probably 10, 15 so years ago as well.
Yeah.
Uh, so this is kind of like what our podcast is going to be about, is having these conversations. And if
Right.
somebody is listening who is using that word, I would definitely encourage you to stop. I don't think that, a person who comes into your church or your space who has an intellectual disability or other type of disability is probably going to feel too comforted
Yeah.
if they hear you use that word. So that's kind of why we're talking about it. And we did this addendum. Maybe we'll have, I don't think we have anything in season one about language, but that's a good topic.
It
Maybe
really
season
is.
two, talking about language that helps, language that builds up, language that supports and makes a person feel safe coming
Right.
into a church or a ministry versus language that's going to make somebody run away, the other
Exactly.
direction.
Yeah, exactly. So um, we're just we're we're just rolling with it. But let me ask you this. Um, so what? So how should somebody? Um, so a person with Down syndrome. Do you
Yeah.
simply say they have Down syndrome? Do you name it like that, or what do you say? Or with
Yeah.
somebody with autism, what do you say?
I mean, there are differences. I
Okay.
think that the idea for being supportive is, what does that group of people want in terms of the language used for them?
Okay.
Which makes sense. It should be their say, really, like
Right.
refer to me like this, and don't refer to me like that. And I think in each of these sort of communities like Down syndrome, autism, even ADHD to some degree, because some people like to be called an ADHDer and some are fine with, I have ADHD, or I'm a person with
Right.
ADHD.
Right.
I think you get different experiences from different people. Asking them might be the best way,
Okay.
or, not certainly, when somebody walks into that's new to, let's say, a church or a ministry or whatever, or even for me, when they walk into a counseling session first
Situation.
time,
Yeah.
I don't like even address them by, their
They're
neurodivergence. I address them by their name. This is Sally. This is Michael. And then as I learn that they, have IDD or chromosome disorder or autism or ADHD, I ask them if they have a language preference. Is there
oh
a way that you
yeah.
refer to that you want me to if we're talking about it? Like language that you want me to use
Okay.
or not? That's probably
Wow.
the best thing to do.
Yeah.
If you're just going to get right to it,
That's cool.
because then you're just supporting that person where they're at and what
Yep.
their comfort level is.
That's really good. Man, that's been huge. That's huge for me. I appreciate you calling me out on it because I think we don't realize the loaded language. I feel like we've eroded so much. There's been so much
Yeah.
baseline taken away, and things are whataboutismed away.
Yeah.
And so, because it's interesting, when I was in high school, one of the only fights I ever got into was because a guy used called another guy the R word.
Yeah.
And because of my background, I was livid with it. So for you to call
Yeah.
me out again, it's one of those things where we don't we don't even use that anymore. We've moved on. So that's helpful. That's
Yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's what
Well,
we
you
want to
have a
do.
great attitude about it, which doesn't surprise me knowing you.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but again, it's this picture of we well, again, this is for another episode, I guess, or maybe this is
Yeah.
episode 2. You know, but it's
Maybe.
like um people of my ilk. I can talk about them because I are one. Pastor types, you know, there's this almost I speak for God, or I am put on a pedestal, or I'm an example.
Yeah.
whatever it might be. And that can be good and bad, right?
Sure.
Because,
Sure.
it's not helpful when
Yeah.
we are uninformed and we run our yapper about things, you know? So,
Not just pastors, but I mean
right.
anybody really.
Right. But specifically those who have a platform and are standing
Yes,
on it with a
absolutely.
microphone
Yeah.
and using it?
Yeah,
So,
for
yeah,
sure.
that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, good stuff, man.
Awesome.
So,
This is
this
thanks
is what we're
for
about.
listening to our addendum.
Absolutely. Enjoy our addendum. Hopefully you enjoy it. Well, it'll either be an addendum. It probably will be an addendum. We'll call it
Yeah, I think that makes
episode
sense.
1 addendum, and then
Yes.
we'll put that in every show note. Hey, don't I think again we got to call stuff out, you know?
Yeah, we got to have the conversations that need to be had. Talking about the things like you said that aren't being talked about, and you know, understanding, learning, growing.
See,
I mean,
you notice it because you're in the middle of that fight. And
yeah,
so
for sure.
you were in essence not triggered, but you definitely noticed it where
Yeah,
I didn't even notice it. And
yeah,
so when I'm having just casual conversations with my father's and mother's occupation, I need to
yeah.
be. So tell me again the word, the phrase that is in the DSM now. Intellectual
Intellectual developmental disorder, or sometimes
IDD.
people or disability. Yeah, IDD, the acronym.
Okay,
And
see, because you said IDD earlier, and I didn't realize what that meant. Okay,
yeah, that'd be
so
the official DSM
okay,
diagnosis.
so intellectual developmental disorder. Okay,
Yeah.
all
And
right,
all right, I think we got it. We covered
we,
it.
we
Yes.
nailed it. All right,
Yeah.
very
All
good.
right.
Well, we will talk to everyone soon. Right?
We will. Thanks for watching
Yeah,
episode 1 and episode 1 addendum, and we're good to
exactly.
go. All right.